Hello everyone, I'm Abigail, and today we're looking at the topic Eating for the Environment, a call for change in behavioral habits. And for the purpose of this assignment, we're looking at a target audience of members of low-income communities. We're looking at the communication theory, the elaboration likelihood model using mainly peripheral route. And this particular communication theory was used because is a new concept I'm talking about. I don't want to overwhelm information using the central route. Most of my target audience may not even be interested in making any changes. So it's just to persuade persons to think about it, to make a short-term change. We can always come back and then give them more information to get more long-term changes in dietary habits. So jumping into the presentation, we're going to look at factors that influence food choices, and there's several factors. There's biological, which is intrinsic factor. A lot of us eat because we're hungry. And then there's social, there's economical, and there's psychological. We eat because we're stressed, or we eat because we're sad. Or you may be a college student like me who, you're not trying to buy the most expensive thing. You're just trying to get something to eat in order to satisfy your physiological drive. So some of us may eat to live while others may live to eat. That's a conversation for another time. But the concept that I want to introduce today is eating as it relates to the environment. So we're not eating just for nutrition or eating because everybody else is eating or because we're sad. We're asking the question, is the diet that we eat, is it environmentally friendly? Is it good for the environment? And so we're going to examine the diet, the lunches of two boys, and determine which one was good for them. So on the back go on this slide, you can see that they eat relatively the same thing. Both of them ate pizza. Both of them had some sort of potatoes. Both of them had a salad or apple or some sort of plant. There's just a big difference between the Diet Coke and the water and the lentils and the fried chicken. And so you may ask the question, well, which diet was better for the environment? And one person said, well, Paul's diet was better because it was plant-based. And another person said, no, not really, because both Paul and Peter had pizza, so neither of them was good for the environment. And so this is a question that we're going to answer. What are some of the factors that we're looking at when it comes to an environmentally sustainable diet? So first thing first, we have to unpack this concept of what is a diet. Because a lot of us think that diet is just something that you go on when you want to lose weight or when you have a particular condition. But diet is simply what we eat every day. So you're on a diet, I'm on a diet. As long as we're eating, that is our diet. But when it comes to this concept of a diet being environmentally friendly or environmentally sustainable, we're looking at a diet or what we eat on a daily basis is something that has a low impact on the environment and contribute to food and nutrition security and a healthy life for our future generations. So there might be some foods that may have not that much impact on the environment, but when they're combined, or there might be some diets that may not have that much impact on the environment, but when they're combined, they're not healthy nutritionally. So as you can see in this diagram, it has to promote health and well-being, increase security, be eco-friendly, culturally appropriate. So this introduces another concept that what may be environmentally friendly in the United States may not be sustainable in Australia. So what are some of the factors that impacts the sustainability of diets? Well, the use of chemicals and pesticides during production, packaging. So every time you open up that food package, where does that package go? It goes into our landfill. The production of energy used. So the more processed the food is, the more energy that has to be used, whether it's coal or electricity, the greater the CO2 emission, the greater the impact it is on the environment. Then, whether it is plant-based or not. So, if you think about it, when we use animals, there are several different steps in the production. We have to produce the animal, we have to grow the food to feed the animal, then we have to convert that food into something that is into feed, so that's more production. Then we have to give it to the animal, and then we have to kill the animal and process the animal in order to eat it. So when we use more plant-based diets, we actually take out that step, which is the animal production. And then is the transportation. where's our food coming from? If our food is coming from overseas and is using a plane or a boat, then it becomes less environmentally sustainable. So we go back to this question, which of the boys' lunch was more sustainable? And it looks, well, at the get-go, it may seem like it's Peter's lunch because his one was more plant-based. But what if all of Peter's lunch came from a package? What if his spinach or whatever he used on the pizza was highly processed? Then his may not be just as sustainable as Paul's lunch. So how can we make our diets more sustainable? Reducing highly processed foods, thus reducing our carbon footprint, adopting plant-based diets, and decreasing animal intake. And so the takeaway is, next time you eat, ask yourself a question: how does my food impact the environment? Is my diet destroying the environment? Am I contributing to the landfills that we have? Am I contributing to the carbon emissions? Or does my diet create an environment that my future kids and grandkids can enjoy? Thank you for listening.